to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com. And streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Bar Rescue After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Bar Rescue After Show.
Welcome, everybody. Biggest for doing. We're here doing Bar Rescue. And a horse walks into a bar.
Season 3, episode 9. Yes?
Yes.
And a little Sammy Davis Jr.
And we decided this was going to be the official Bar Rescue song, and why?
Because John, you can count on John Tapper to come save the day.
And that is, of course, Keven Undergaro. Next to him, Dorinda Barker.
Hi, guys.
And next to me, Krisily Kennedy.
What's up?
And I am, of course, Phil Svitek.
We're back at full power.
We are, and we've got very special guests calling in tonight.
Yes, we have 2 calling in tonight. We have Donna from Chilleen's on 17 and Russell Davis.
The bar expert.
Yes.
And Bartender of the year.
Yes.
Yeah, but by the way, what moves?
I know. And it's his
Right?
birthday today, guys.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah.
So, well, what a great way to celebrate your birthday with AFTERBUZZ TV.
I know.
Let's get right into it. Let's get into recon. I love how they're kind of doing this recon work this year. And our girl, she wasn't very comfortable. And rightfully so.
Oh, yeah. Why would she be comfortable?
You mean the daughter?
Aaliyah?
No, I'm talking about, remember the girl in the red?
Oh, the customer.
yeah,
customer.
the tourist.
I was like, wait, who?
Yeah, you could. She just stood like a sore thumb. She
Yeah.
just, the face was just horrified.
We watch it here at AFTERBUZZ TV, and Marissa, one of our producers here, she was like, why would you put her in red? She sticks out so easily.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I would have had just a regular, normal trench coat on her. I mean, her dress alone stood out. You didn't need to make her stand out anymore.
But,
I mean, where do we start? There's so much. It's just
I want to start with the barbecue because, you know, they were watching that. And what?
That's where you want to start.
I was like, that's a weird place to start, but okay. It was gross.
Yeah, so basically, you just grill something, you just dip it in barbecue sauce, and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of drunks that used to do that.
No, there's a lot of people that I think they think that's what authentic barbecue is. I can gather to say I've been to some people's houses who think that that's authentic.
So what is barbecue? You know, I mean, that's why I gravitated towards this first, because what is real barbecue?
I would say you would marinate the meat. You would marinate the meat in the barbecue sauce for, you know, the right period of time. Then you'd put it on the grill, and then you would baste it again.
If you don't have a smoker, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I
other
think-
than that, it's definitely the smoker that gives it the
Smoke.
flavor.
Yeah,
Gangster.
in the rub too. You brine it and then you make your own rub, and then from there, you know, if some people make their own sauce, as I do.
And now we're all going to
yes.
Dorinda's for dinner.
Yes.
Every Sunday.
Sorry, guys, show's done.
Linda, no, I have the unbelievable. Are you good on the grill?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because we have to talk then.
All right.
We have to do a bar
we gotta-
rescue dinner at my house. No, because I have
For
the
sure.
unbelievable setup that never gets used. It's
Let's
just
do it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, every Sunday we do a whole thing.
No, you really?
Yeah, every Sunday.
And we
yeah.
of course weren't invited.
Oh, you're invited any Sunday.
We didn't get
Mercy
the official invite.
Okay, back to this though. I mean, okay, Phil. So are we over that? So
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
over
wait
that.
to talk about.
I'm over that.
I was so bothered by the burnout as well with the motorcycle, because anybody who knows motorcycles, anyone who's ever been to a bike week anywhere, first of all, burnouts are done outside
Right.
on a stage where it's safe, where there's a
Right.
holder holding the bike, God forbid something happens, and it's outside for
Right.
the smoke and the rubber and hello.
It's,
Do you guys think that, you know, as we say at AfterBuzz, our term "dick in the soup" for when producers get involved? Do you think that they were egged on to do that, or do you really think that happens every night there?
I think
Well, this was all during
the initial part of it.
Yeah, the initial part. So I don't think
But they know cameras are in there.
they know cameras are in
That
there, but
girl's
the
in red, she's-
producers can't. Well, that part I think that was part of the producers, but like the motorcycle, I don't
the
think
horse.
and the horse, I don't think that was because the producers don't get involved until after they know that Taffer is coming
Here's
in.
the thing. I think bad bars create bad marketing, and so I think in their minds it's like so if I'm at the bar and a motorcycle comes in or a horse comes in, then I'm going to tell my friends like, dude, there's a bar with a horse. Come on, check it
Yeah,
out.
it's so
Yeah.
crazy here.
Not going to happen.
No.
And I
No.
think that's where it stemmed from. So I believe that they would come up with these bad
By the way,
ideas.
what a blessing for a daughter. Like, I always love when you see the daughter being like, Mom, are you guys crazy?
Exactly. Well, she became the caretaker.
Right.
She was the adult.
Yeah, you can tell that she was the adult and she had to take care of them in a situation like that. That normally is what happens.
It is normally what happens, but
Yeah.
it was interesting to see both parents. Normally it's one,
Yeah.
and then the other one is the crazy codependent, and the kid's codependent, but also is the caretaker. But to see that she had to really parent both of them.
Oh yeah. I mean, what did her mother have? She had 12 shots. In wait,
It was a
16
lot.
She had the beer and the shots.
Guys, in
and
minutes.
Fireball, no less.
In minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just it was sad to see.
Well, they at that point had no hope or faith that anything was going to happen. They were already being foreclosed on. They already filed bankruptcy, and at that point, they felt like there was nothing they could do. So, hey, let's just have a good time and be happy. And the daughter was the one that was saying, no, we can still do this. And so she really was kind of the cheerleader of getting the
Yes.
bar
I
back
also
on.
think when you're an addict, that's what you do. It's one thing leads to another. You think it's, I'm just drinking because I'm losing the bar. No, you're losing the bar because you're drinking.
And the bar
And then you
business
keep
breeds
going
that.
deeper into, and it does breed it. And we've
Yes.
seen, I've been the armchair therapist on this show calling out these people for being addicts. And I don't even know if they are or they aren't. It seems like I've been right. But a lot of bar owners I knew were drunks too.
Yeah.
Or were dry drunks.
Yeah.
Just realize it, and they say, okay, I got to stop. They put the plug in the jug. Say, forget it. We're stopping it because it's not good for business.
Yeah.
But they keep the business going. So I
Right.
knew a lot of those guys too. Didn't you guys? I mean, did
Oh,
Chris?
yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think the business breeds that because a lot of people buy bars and they think that they're just going to run themselves. And they don't understand how much work goes into actually running a functioning bar that makes money. They think it's just going to run themselves because at the end of the day, no matter what kind of recession we're in, people still eat and they still go to the bar. So they think that it's just going to be okay. And then they find out that they don't know how to run the business and it's not going to make its own money. And so they have all these problems and it's easier to drink the problem away than to deal with them. So it totally breeds that monster.
And I think it's also worse. I mean, Bar Rescue has proved this. I want to open a bar because I want to invite you guys to drink.
Right.
And
Yeah.
say I own a bar.
Well, open
Right.
up your own man cave.
No, we
then.
talked. That's what we've said. The conclusion is spend the money on your man cave and
Yep.
invite your
Yeah.
friends over. Then at least you own the man cave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Increase the
but
value
You
property
can
of your
totally
home.
still charge your friends for drinks.
yeah, I mean, did you see the faces on Russell and John when they were watching from the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On they were.
Horrified.
I've never seen their faces like that.
No.
John was, hands on his head. He just couldn't believe
He was.
it.
It was interesting to see him shocked. It's usually
Yeah,
angry.
Yeah, he just was like he was passing more shocked, I think.
And this was, I think, one of the hardest episodes to watch because we have watched other episodes
Yeah.
where we've known the owners, the managers have either had a drinking problem or were just drunk when John got there. And this one I felt was different because they actually wanted to be better. Like once that
When did you know that?
I knew it at the beginning.
Yeah.
As soon
Why are you
as
guys so much smarter? It's like my girlfriend, same thing. Minutes and she goes, you know what, Kevin? They're going to be okay because
Yep.
they want to get. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? You always watch these shows and you always think the worst of these people, and I'm like, wait, I don't see that. And
Well,
so
was
I'm
it? I want to ask this:
wrong.
was it more of the husband because he seemed like he wanted more of the help, at least to me, because the next day the wife was like, I don't remember meeting John at all.
And she was embarrassed, but I feel like she was even embarrassed when she was drunk. And I feel like there was parts of them that I saw, and I don't know if it's because I've worked in so many bars and saw people like this, or if it's because I've dealt with people that have addictions.
You're smart. That's why we want you to run the Lovitz bar.
Yeah, let's do it. But Scott and Donna, they did want help, and they were using a crutch to get them through something when they didn't need a crutch, and that the alcohol was their crutch. So this was the hardest one for me to watch because this was the first time that I saw an owner that had an issue, but I really really wanted to root for them. Where some of the other owners, I was like, I don't care if their bar succeeds because they're just mean.
They don't deserve it, right?
Yeah,
They
and
don't
these
deserve it.
Scott and Donna, I really rooted for. Like, I cried a couple times, and
Oh, wow.
I was
Yeah,
like
no,
crying at Bar Rescue.
Wait, I wanna
This
hear
one was a definite tearjerker.
Wait, I've cried at Bar Rescue many times.
No, this was
This
the
one was the
first
most.
one.
But tell
yeah.
me where you guys cried.
I cried from beginning to end almost on this. There was a lot of
Oh,
teary
really?
moments.
Yeah, there. I mean,
Tell me, I want to hear more because I always weep at this show, and I didn't this episode.
yeah.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, no, but I was excited. I was rooting for them. And I think their bar had the most hope of all the bars I've seen
Yeah.
to get a makeover. A lot of times it's really hard, no matter how great of a job John does. If a place has a stink on it, it's got a stink on it. You almost have to say new ownership or new, but the fact that this was out in the middle of nowhere, it was on that highway. You could really make this the cool barbecue steakhouse for people
Yeah.
driving by.
Yeah.
You really could do something with that. But tell me what was making you guys cry.
Well, I cried first when the horse fell, just because I.
That upset me.
That-
That upset me. That really
that was the
upset me.
first time I cried.
No, I felt so bad. for them.
So angry.
As
Yeah.
soon as John came in and tried to talk to them, even before they got to the sit down, that's the second time I cried because I
Yeah.
felt for them so much at that moment. And then when John kept trying to talk to them and seeing them struggle because they knew they were in the wrong and they knew that they had hit rock bottom beyond. And I got very
That's
teary-eyed
all.
and very
No,
emotional. for
I
them.
love that about you guys. I like that you're that advanced because I've been John talking to the two drunks and I just wanted to stab them because I've had so many of them in my life cost me so much money, so much aggravation, so many pre-cancer cells in my body that the two of them, at that point, I was just like, oh my God, talking to a
Yeah.
drunk. You might as well just talk to the wall.
Because you're not going to get through to them at that point.
But that's great that you had the insight to see more in them because they deserved it. They deserved the help. It seemed like they really,
And the daughter. And when
Yeah.
I saw the
Oh,
daughter,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like even when John was sitting with all three of them, because it is a family affair, and that's exactly what it was. And the daughter trying to talk, and you just see it in her face.
Yeah,
That's just has to be the hardest thing.
of course. Yeah.
so hard
Yeah, no.
for a kid
It's-
to carry all that. What an amazing kid, though.
Oh yeah, and she was even before when they were doing the recon. She was great behind the bar, not like Yum Yum.
Wait, okay, see, I knew you were going to get down on my girl, Yum Yum.
What was her real name?
Who cares, Yum
Yum
Yum?
I
Yum.
never got past the yum yum
Yeah, to be
and the
she's Yum Yum.
attitude. Like,
That's it. I'm out of here. Yum Yum had enough. He hammered her, though.
I
Yeah,
mean, she
deservedly
deserved
so.
to go.
Deservedly
Honestly, I don't even think he hammered her that much when she showed up. He was like, the rest of us.
I mean, Russell, after when she just no way.
Oh yeah, he rode her pretty
Yeah,
hard
he
at that
rode her
point.
so hard.
But I mean, she was so inappropriate. Like she had
That's
her.
Yum Yum. What?
She was
No?
inappropriate with her leg up on the table. Like her.
Oh, her sexual innuendos.
Yeah, there was just-
nastiness all over the place. And if you're listening, Yum Yum,
Yum
I don't
Yum.
care.
Yum
'Cause,
Yum.
ugh.
Yum
No,
Yum. I don't
a
think
woman
Yum Yum's
shouldn't talk
listening.
like that.
And then a no call, no show, no respect whatsoever for the people that are paying her bills. Mm-hmm. Well, not paying her
You know
bills.
what? You know what it
anymore.
is? Here we go. She suffered from a PGS, and you guys can disagree with me, but I call it pretty girl syndrome. So in that area, I'm sure she's like the little hottie or the old hottie.
And there's 3,000 people in the town.
And so they don't listen to anybody. Like she's the star, so she's like, I'm not coming in to do.
A
Like
lot of girls have it.
That's
They,
it.
they
Yes.
get they get a lot of things in life because they're pretty and
Yeah.
they're cute, and then they think that
Especially in a town with 3,000 people.
Right, and that's not gonna that doesn't work with Taffer's
happens
rules.
here too, and there's millions.
Right.
Just saying.
It does
Yeah,
happen.
well, yeah. Let's not get into that because that's a whole different show.
Yeah. Right. True.
Yeah.
But John's not having it, which I love. Yeah, so
no.
out the door she went. And by the way, nobody cared.
No.
No.
Nobody cared. It was
No, and
But ironically, I don't think they were writing that hard because I've seen this sort of tactic. It's an embarrassment tactic used on many people, and some people, if Yum Yum really was up to the task,
you can't say that without a straight face.
she would have risen to the occasion, But like, they made. They embarrassed her in the sense that she wasn't there and things like that. And, everyone else was working hard. And again, she could have risen to the occasion and been like, okay, shoot, I got to make up for all that time. I'll try to learn it, et cetera. I know I messed up, but that just wasn't in her.
No, it wasn't. She was supposed to shut up and show up, and she didn't do that. that was the whole, and she couldn't do it, and she had enough. And I don't think he rode her that hard. I mean, he could have been worse.
That's what I'm saying.
He could have been so much worse to her.
Yeah.
But, she couldn't do it. Obviously, she didn't know how to put ice in a glass before mixing
Let's
a
talk
drink.
about the stress test then.
Yeah, go
I'm
back.
just saying.
How do you guys feel overall the stress test went for most?
Well, even before that, why don't we talk about what Taffer did to Donna and Scott?
Oh, the breathalyzer.
The breathalyzer. Yeah. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, wow. And then first I was like, is he doing this to demean them? And then then when he explained it, I got why he did what he did. He was doing it because he really wanted to help them save their bar, since it was a family affair. And I was so scared when they went into commercial, and the thing went beep. I was like, oh, this is it.
Great job, editors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great job.
I thought the guy was going to fail, the father, and he,
We got Donna calling in right now. I'll take the call and patch her through.
Sounds good. Donna, of course, the owner of tonight's bar. Donna, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Welcome. Thank you for calling in.
Donna, congratulations on your bar makeover. How have things gone since then? I mean, it seems like you guys are still in business?
Yes, we are. We are really doing well, and sales are up, and business is doing great.
And the big question is, the bankruptcy thing was still pending. Is that still, or
We're still trying to work it out, but it's going well.
Okay.
And as far as now things being better, what do you attribute Bar Rescue's makeover to how things are better now? What are some of the key elements?
What are some of the key elements that have made it better?
Yeah, from your makeover that have would you attribute to the success you're having now?
Well, the outside sign and the paint really did it. It's really pulling people off the freeway that we weren't capturing before. So I think that's been the hugest thing that needed to be done.
And have you been able to keep up with the menu and cooking in that fashion?
Yes, it's been a tough one, but we've actually kept all of the changes that they made, and it's going really well.
That's great. And the tough part has probably been just the transition to teaching your staff how to cook in that manner, and probably you guys even
Correct.
having to cook a little bit like that, right, on slow periods?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get it. But now, are you seeing more repeat customers as a result?
Absolutely. We're seeing new customers, repeat customers, and a lot of our old customers are, just still coming in and even happier than they were before. So it's been very good.
Wow, that's great. Because sometimes I know the regulars can be offended when you make changes.
Yeah. They didn't change it too much, so that was great.
What about the interior reconstruction? Can you speak to that? Was that vast?
The interior?
Yes.
Well, they did a lot of little things that just gave it that down-home charm. It's really, the cowhide on the booth, just the little things that just make it feel so much warmer when you walk in than it did before.
Great. Okay, so as a personal question, and I have to ask because our fans will want to know, have you been able to stay off the drinking during the workout?
Yes, I am sober. Yes.
Okay.
Yay, Donna!
Congratulations.
I have to ask Donna.
Go ahead.
One of my favorite things about this episode was the family aspect. So how much closer are you with Aaliyah now? Like, how much has your relationship changed now that you guys are doing this?
Aaliyah and I have always been very, 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 very close. One thing is that I don't, drink at the bar daily or anything, so that's not something I do every single day. But when I do drink a lot. So Aaliyah and I were always close. That's never even been an issue. We've been best friends since the day she was, able to walk and talk. So Aaliyah and I are still as close as we've ever been. My husband and I are closer because of it. I've been a binge drinker alongside with my husband. My husband's been a full-blown alcoholic for 22 years. I've been in Al-Anon for 15 years. So
Yeah.
I didn't start drinking until we bought the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So and I just became a binge drinker. I still, never drank alcohol every day. Never, I would drink for one day and drink a lot and then not drink for a whole week because I'd be sick from it.
Mm-hmm.
So, the alcoholism is something that's really affected our family for all of our years. They portrayed me to be the one, like, I drink all the time. I don't. However, when I did drink, I did drink a lot. Now I don't drink at all. I don't even drink ever. Because
it seemed obvious, Donna, that you weren't the one because he had the shakes. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, wait a second. He's probably the one.
Yeah, that was a tough one for my husband. That's probably the longest since we bought the restaurant that he's gone without drinking. So.
But you know what? Like, I'm also an Al-Anon member, so I understand that struggle very much. Like, good for you guys for taking the bull by the horns and doing it. Like, good for you guys for actually getting out there and making that difference for your business and for your family ultimately, because most people don't.
Yeah. And it's a tough one putting it out there. I mean, everyone's like, oh, the drunk mom, and I'm like, yeah, that was me, but you know what? I don't drink anymore, and I'm really proud of myself, and my bar is doing good. So, it's a tough one to get it out there, but, addiction is a disease, and, it's something that people need to be made aware of. And if we can help 5 or 6 people from this, then it was well worth it.
And you guys did it in such a great way, and it was done in such a loving way that if you get haters, then they're just haters, because you guys came across absolutely amazing, and I can't say that I've rooted more for anybody on Bar Rescue than I did for you guys.
Oh, that is so sweet. And my daughter is so amazing. She's just awesome.
Yeah, we're in love with her. She's fantastic.
Oh, she was fantastic.
And can I ask you, how old is your daughter?
21.
She's 21.
Wow.
And is she going to just take over the business? Or what do you think? So,
she graduates college in May, and she has her degree in journalism, mass communications. So, I actually have another job. I'm a wedding coordinator, and I've been trying to step away from the business a little bit, but it's just been impossible because it's just so much work. We've had it for 10 years, and it's so much work. I would love for her, John's thing was, she should follow her dreams and do journalism, not run the restaurant, but her heart is in the restaurant too, so it's a tough one. I think she's going to continue to, keep working at the restaurant, but she needs to pursue her career in journalism too.
So, and Donna, real quick, because we haven't talked about him yet, how is Scott doing? Your husband?
He's doing good. He's having a hard time with it all. I mean, it's a tough one for him. Because, like I said, for him, he's been battling alcoholism for years. So this one's been a really tough one for him. It's a little bit harder for him. It's really been really super easy for me. My daughter, we have another daughter too. We all laugh about it because, it's really, really easy for me. And I kind of feel sorry for that, that it is so easy for me and that he struggles with it all the time.
One day at a time.
Yes, one day at a time. That's all we can do. And he's doing good. He has fallen off the wagon, but then, he realizes it, and we pick him back up, and we go on.
That's awesome.
And what do you guys think of John Taffer? We always get some of the owners love him.
I love John. You know what, John gives that spark and gets you so excited. Like that one day we came in, I said, God, we haven't been excited to come to work in 10 years. I mean, John just gets you so excited. You go home, and you're like, wow, did you hear that idea? This is so great. John says we could do this and we could do that. And he makes you feel like, you're invincible. So, I mean, he really got a spark ignited in all of our staff and the whole family. I mean, he was amazing. I have all the respect in the world for him.
That's so great to hear. And I think that's also a testament to you guys, what great people you are, because we one of the things that frustrates us as hosts of this show is we see a lot of people get these 6-figure makeovers and they're resentful and bitter afterwards.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So many people are, for us it was a tough one because, like I said, we did lay a lot on the line. We're grateful for it. The publicity, we were willing to do anything to save our bar, and I actually, contacted Bar Rescue because I knew we needed help, and I had one of my best friends come and do a video right away, and I've been submitting this over and over and over to Bar Rescue for 2.5 years, and I didn't give up. So the fact that they chose us, I'm just super pleased.
That's great.
Now, we're going to be talking to Russell in a few minutes after we're done interviewing you, and I talked to him this morning, and he just loves you guys. He said he still keeps in touch with you all.
I love Russell. He's so awesome. We had so much fun with him.
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes, I just love them. They're so much fun.
I feel it's like
Yeah.
it's 50-50 with the show. Some of the owners really respond and bond with everybody, and they stay in touch, and then others just are hateful and angry. So it's so nice that it worked, that you guys are such nice people, and that you were able to receive the support you needed. And I give you guys credit for following through. Most people don't listen, Donna. That's what we see every week.
know.
And
A lot of people don't listen, and you know what? Every one of their ideas were fabulous, and you know we've implemented them, we've done it, and you know I attribute most of that to the success we're having by not reverting back and going back to the old ways. So you know, and again, they set us up for success with these ideas and this drink menu and the menu. So you know, we're really grateful for it.
It's actually the first time, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, we've seen all the episodes. It's the first time that John has addressed somebody having a problem,
Yes.
and then following through to go to counseling. Did John have any preconceived notion about your problems with alcohol, or did he just surmise that on his own?
You know, I'm not sure. You know, they did mention about going to see the counselor, and I said, absolutely, I'm all for it, because again, like I said, you know, I'm no stranger to this, so I was very excited about that. You know, it was a great idea, and you know, anything that you can do to, you know, try to put something in place for after you leave is always a good idea.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Agreed. And do you have anything you want to plug before we say goodbye?
Well, you know, like I said, we just thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. We bonded with all of the film crew, John Taffer, Russell, JB, everybody. Everybody was fabulous, and we're very, very blessed and very grateful, and we're very lucky as a family to have had this experience. And, you know, we're just hoping that business picks up and everyone supports us.
Do you have a Facebook page or a website?
We do. Chilleen's on 17 is our Facebook page.
Nice.
Donna, thank you guys so much for sharing your story, not only your bar rescue story, but your personal story, because it does kind of relate to a lot of people in a lot of ways. So thank you for opening yourself up, because not a lot of people are willing to do that. And I
No.
think that's why you guys are going to be so successful. So I wish you guys the best.
It takes a strong
Seriously.
person to do
Thank you
that.
so much. And tell Russell I said hi.
I will.
Bye, Donna.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. You know, Krisily, that you just said that they had the courage to be honest. Which, by the way, by being honest, you make great television rather than trying to pretend to be something not. But then also the fact that they were open to listen to his ideas, and you're right. That's why they're going to be okay. You guys both have your eyes welled up with tears.
I do.
It's
Like, I want to
amazing.
drive to Arizona right now and hug her. Like, I do. Like,
I love that.
You know, I think a lot of people will watch the episode and will judge and will say, oh, they're drunks and they're this and they're that. And unless you've dealt with a person with addiction in your life, then you have no idea how hard it is, and how hard it is to not only deal with it with someone else, but then within yourself. And it's now your business problem. And now you're going to put it on national
What about the
television.
drunk at the Roach Bar, though? What about that guy? You didn't feel bad for him?
No, because he
No.
didn't want it. And that's what I think. That's why I think you see the 50-50 split of people that love John Taffer and people that don't. Of course, Donna and Scott are going to love John because they believe in him and they're seeing his success because they needed and wanted this to work. But you get people that do this show that maybe do have a problem, maybe they don't, but their ego, they can't let their ego go. So it doesn't matter if John gives them the best of the best. They're still not going to think it's good enough.
Yeah, even the gentleman who owned the bar, the other Austin bar.
Yeah.
Brixton.
The Brixton. The same way. They didn't care, and they were just not happy.
No, you're right.
What's the
No,
word?
you're so
There's
right.
a word. Like, they almost felt like they were entitled to what they got.
That was like the hipster guy, right?
Yeah, the hipster
He,
dude.
I mean, of course he was going to
wasn't.
talk junk about the show as soon as they left.
He took
You know what I
everything
mean?
for granted,
Yeah.
what they did. So,
And even- And you know, I mean, I even on the better side, we get people that say, you know what, 90% of it was good, but 10% of it could be fixed. So the
Yeah.
fact that they were submissive to everything, you know, and just like, you know, as you've said, Kevin, multiple times, just go with John. You know,
Yeah.
And
even if
there's
he's
always-
wrong, he's
Right.
you know, ultimately
And
still
there'll
going to set you up for
There'll
the
always
right
be
way.
something that may not work with your customers on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
But you twerk those and you figure it out.
That's
you know what I mean?
You do the tweaking, and I think John would be the first to tell you that. Of
Yeah.
course, you know.
But that sign alone, the
Oh my
outside
God.
sign alone,
And on the
said so-
highway.
and on the
Yeah, it's
highways.
such great advertising.
Because it's true. When I was a kid, we would always drive from New York to Kentucky to our farm, and that's what we looked at were the signs to see what there was to eat, to see if there was like a Cracker Barrel or whatever, and that's what you would look for. And they had no signs. I mean, can you know how many people? What was it? 17,000 cars a day pass by there.
Nuts.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
And John was so great that he put one on the highway as well.
Yeah.
You know, one of those.
On opposite sides too.
Yeah, that's great.
Which I thought was great. I mean, he's so smart at everything that he does. He sees it, and he does. He sees it before everyone else sees it.
And the details, and not, this bar didn't need the tap system or the jukebox or some of the other frills we see.
No.
It just needed, good food and the infrastructure to be fixed, those two to stop drinking, and then better signage.
Yeah.
And they didn't spend a lot of time on the outside, but as they pulled in, John made the notion that it looked like a junkyard. So
And
that
it was
the
dark.
Yes.
yeah.
And driving, as I'm sure any of us have, to Vegas, or I've driven to Arizona several times because I worked out there for a while, it is like you don't want to pull in places that are dark and sketchy at night. So you want them to be well lit. And,
Yeah,
and you know
especially
what I
if you're a
mean?
girl.
Yeah.
There's no way that's ever going to happen.
I agree with you guys. I'm trying to figure out what to get into next because I know Russell's going to call in, but let's finish up with the stress test, I guess, since we never really finished it up.
Well, okay, you can say there's still stuff that Phil.
What do you want?
Well, I think the ending, it's
Of
funny.
tonight's episode?
Yeah, so much of it, what you guys saw, really went over my head. Until the end when
See, we
he
all need
hugged-
to watch together.
we
That's
do.
the problem.
No, we
Yeah,
do.
we-
And I
yeah.
think girls are more sensitive. We're just guys, just clowns. We just are. But when he hugged, I thought the longest embrace I had ever seen him make. He embraced the husband and the wife separately for such a long period, and I'd never seen that as long. And you can always tell.
You saw John's eyes well up a couple times in this episode. You knew that he really cared about Scott and Donna.
Yeah.
You knew it. And Aaliyah.
Yeah, and the thing about it is because his business, his bar business, is him, his wife, and his daughter.
Yeah, and he
And
always
so he
references
gets
them.
it. Like
Yes.
he gets what they were going through. Not to say that John's an alcoholic or Nicole is or anything, but you understand. Like he understood. He's seen it a bunch of times, but he could connect with it.
And I was glad that he finally addressed addiction. And think about how much experience at 800 bars, how much experience he has with the drunken, belligerent owner in his travels. And so to see him to spot it right away and say, okay, we got to get you guys in therapy. It's like, wow,
And the fact that this is something that this family's dealt with for many years, it was probably that much easier for them to be submissive towards that and say, okay, yeah, this is exactly what we need, which was great for them. You know what I mean? Because no one else probably would have said anything to them, which is the biggest problem most of the time.
We have a caller. I'm not sure if it's Russell, but I'll patch him through. Caller, you're on the line.
Hello, Russell.
Yeah, how's it going? This is Russell.
Happy birthday, Russell.
Happy birthday.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
How you doing? How's your day been?
It's been great. Just sitting back, relaxing, preparing for a very, very crazy night tonight.
Oh, Russell, I think that was the best hands I've ever seen work the bar in the history of Bar Rescue. The way you were, my God, working the tools and the drinks and the bottles, and it was crazy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I've spent many, many years behind the bar, so.
You can tell. Do you regret firing Yum Yum?
Well, the thing is that, I didn't fire her.
That's true. She walked out.
She walked out. But as far as I was concerned, I've always been one of those people to show up and be there no matter what. And once to not show up for a training and something like that, as far as I was concerned, she was almost like a dead man walking. I was still going to give her a chance, but
she brought sex appeal to the bar. Maybe that was her job. No?
What's that?
It was her job to bring sex appeal to the bar. Maybe it was. The looks I'm getting from our co-host, they want to stab me. I'm joking.
Well, I'll tell you, the way that Aaliyah works that bar, beyond the sex appeal, but the way that you know, you could train bartenders to do almost anything, but the way that Aaliyah can control a room, and can control a crowd, and can control a bar was just ridiculously amazing. And also, you know, even I felt like having, you know, Yum Yum and her did not get along, and having Yum Yum there anyway really did bring down what Aaliyah could do behind the bar anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
The look on Aaliyah's face when she left was the biggest
She was
smile.
relieved.
So happy.
She was relieved.
But you know what I found this in the bar industry a lot. You know, once you just put a little bit of pressure on somebody, the people that aren't meant for this industry they're just not that good for it. They work themselves out.
Let me ask you this: was it a big enough problem that she would have had to be fired anyway, even if she did show up? Not, you know, where her and Aaliyah just didn't get along.
Well, you know, I can't really speculate on that, but you know, I know that whenever you're working as a bar staff and working as a team, and you show up for a training, and then one of your coworkers doesn't, and then you're the one that's having to pick up their slack behind the bar, it's going to mean something. It's not going to fall right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really, guys, dead air? Come on.
No.
There's not more questions
Hello?
for Russell?
Well, these are two bartenders asking.
Oh, sorry.
So
You guys
Russell,
know
we
you
have
guys have-
So Russell, I bartended bar for 2.5 years, and I make no bones about it. I was just fast, and I did a lot of the heavy work, and I did a lot of the cleaning. So I was the six-man award. That's what I would be. But the girls that are here are how long during this?
17
years, and then Krisyly's 11 or 12.
12.
12 years bartending.
And my hands are still not as fast as yours, Russell. Like, I don't know what it is, but literally, even I was in awe, and I was like, oh my God, he's so fast.
Like the way you worked that jigger last night, I was like, wait a second, how did that even get into the glass?
Yeah.
And like I said, 17 years I've been around the block.
I had to figure out a way to make up for myself being just extremely clumsy. That's what it is. I've always been one of those bartenders that I kind of tried to nail down everything. You know, when the mixology stuff started popping, I really got into that, and still am very much into that. And you know, I was always one of those kind of nightclub bars. I mean, I worked in almost every different style bar that you can imagine in my 11 years of bartending. I mean, I started out bartending when I was 19 years old, and I've just been doing it. And I was that guy that, you know, would sit back and read the books or get complaints from my neighbors downstairs who was at home throwing bottles and missing them, and they would drop on the ground and they would complain.
So do you still?
And I've kind of worked in every style, and I feel like I'm still that bartender that I can mix a really great cocktail, but I'll still, if I have to walk out from behind that bar and kick you out, I will.
And so, Russell, do you still tend bar every a nightly basis, or do you just consult now?
Well, I just consult for the most part, but I'm actually closing down a bar tonight. You know, in my 11 years of bartending, I've opened up many different bars, but tonight I actually get to close one down. But it's actually something that was supposed to be that way from the very beginning. It's a pop-up bar that we knew was going to only be around for 6 to 9 months, and a group of consultants came into it for a hotel group, and we knew that there was going to be renovations going on, and we were just been waiting on it. And I've been, you know, whenever I've been in town, I've definitely tried to make myself seen and known behind the bar and make sure I don't get too rusty. And and tonight I actually, just so happens to land on my 30th birthday, but we are shutting down one of what I consider the most iconic, especially legendary pop-up bars of our era that just, you know, people will definitely remember, but, you know, it's such a great experience. It became such a cult thing for the industry. And it's called the Rio Grande. It's in downtown San Francisco, and tonight's the last night it'll ever be open.
Wow.
Tell them the theme, like the theme of it.
So it was actually, these bar consultants I'm really good friends with called the Bon Vivants. He just opened up Trick Dog in San Francisco, which is, in my mind, the best bar in the country right now. But they got me to come with them and do this bar called Rio Grande. And what we do is we specialize in everything that's above and below the Rio Grande River. So we have a bunch of American whiskey, a bunch of tequila, but it's a bunch of just really good bartenders and mixologists that come together that you probably wouldn't see together behind the same bar unless it was kind of to create this legend to do this and do this temporary little thing. and we just wanted to do a beer in the shop bar. But at the same time, we have the 30-pound ice blocks, so we can crack into it and do a really old school, old-fashioned by hand if we wanted to. We can do the fresh drinks. But at the same time, we're just trying to have fun. And so we got together, created this little legend. It looks like this Quentin Tarantino Roadhouse. We took over a space that was an ex-like strip club that had stripper poles on it, and so it's just like getting a little bit of wild, a little bit more fun, a little bit taking the mixology theme and getting a little more rebellious with it, and then just kind of running with it, you know?
Can you open one of those here? Because I need a new bartending job, and I'm ready. That sounds amazing. So you just come to LA, and we're going to open one of those here.
Now, Russell, we got.
No, there's always the ideas of things popping around. So I wouldn't say that is out of the question.
Russell, how many other Bar Rescue shows will we be seeing you on before the end of the season, or is this it for you?
At least 5.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's great. And it seems like, oh wait, so Steve, our engineer in the booth, he's a little strange and he wants to ask you a question. I'm just no, he is, but that's okay. It's okay, but he's a good kid. He's just weird.
So Russell, I really enjoyed the episode, and I really liked how you took it to moonshine for the barbecue essence of the place. And I was just wondering, do you have a lot of Southern background? Because you know a lot about how the blackberry teas really bring out the smoky flavor. You know how to make a great tea, it looked like, that was an alcoholic beverage for them. And just usually people don't go straight to the moonshine, but it is a very, very like classic staple for barbecue when you go lower south, like towards Texas, or even I'm from North Carolina, and we had that there too. Like, so what's your kind of background?
Yeah, you guys actually have some really great handcrafted organic moonshines that are coming out of North Carolina right now that I think are just amazing. But I'm actually from, I grew up on a 400-acre peach farm at kind of 80 people in East Texas, a little town called Clayton. I actually knew how to drive a tractor before I knew how to drive a car. So
you know, so you're familiar with moonshining, or at least at least the product.
Well, you know, and it's strange because, you know, in East Texas, where I'm from, it really is moonshine. The county I grew up in is still dry to this day. You know, it's the middle of the Bible Belt. You know, there's even many people in my hometown that consider me a singer for what I do, but, you know, that's all right.
It's funny, Johnny Knoxville's always around town drinking moonshine. He's a big proponent of it. But even the jars and everything else, Steve, actually, you are weird, but that was an amazing question. No, and thank you for reminding us, because you're right.
I appreciate you asking. You know, I'm very proud of my Texan heritage. I learned how to bartend on the streets of Austin, Texas. You know, I wasn't brought out to San Francisco until about 2.5 years ago by Bourbon and Branch. So
nice.
And it gave the bar, it definitely even added a little bit more personality. And it seems like Aaliyah could do just about anything you ask. But are those drinks hard to mix?
Oh, no. So, you know, what I even tried to do was, one, use very basic riffs on some pretty easy drinks. And then two, to even take out some of the legwork of it. So if you look at the non-alcoholic cocktail, you know, and not only take the legwork out of it, but it's actually nice for certain ingredients to be sitting together as a punch style. It actually melds the flavors and everything. And so, you know, that non-alcoholic cocktail, if you look at it, it's 6 ingredients, you know, 3 of which that are coming from 2 different speed pours. And so on one of the speed pours, you have 3 ingredients that are sitting there and been pre-prepped. So in the middle of service, it's really easy to make, and it's just very, very basic builds anyway. And on top of it all, the fact that they are sitting together, the pomegranate, the cinnamon, the lemon juice, you know, it actually has those flavors kind of mixed together, much like the old style punches and the old style cocktails that were supposed to be pre-mixed and then sit together. It actually makes the flavor grow anyway.
I just got so thirsty.
Yeah, I mean, every time I watch these shows,
the mouth is watering.
No, I still want to go party in the bars. You know, a couple of times we've seen the shows, and my girlfriend's like, we need to go there. You know, it looked like it would have been a fun bar to hang at.
Yeah,
it did.
Russell, can you tell me how you got involved with this? Are you a friend of Taffer's, or did Three Ball call you and cast you? How did that work?
Yeah, so I was up for Bartender of the Year with the Nightclub and Bar Awards for the past 3 years. And John Taffer is the head of the Nightclub and Bar organization, which sits on a council of a very, very esteemed people. And so I'd actually used to sneak Sneak Nightclub and Bar magazine. I've known who John Tackle was well before Bar Rescue. I didn't get to meet him until just the past, year and a half, 2 years. But yeah, I used to but sneak Nightclub and Bar magazine off my manager's desk when I was a bar back and go into the cooler on my breaks and read it. And I was always hoping to be Bartender of the Year. And it was always what I wanted. And Bartender of the Year always got the cover of the magazine. And so, after 7 years of bartending, I really just kind of honed myself and was doing, I always try to be a little bit more rebellious than some of the other guys at the same time. But then I started getting some recognition, and I got picked president of the USBG, the United States Bartenders Guild, in the Texas chapter about three and a half years ago, and then I was a finalist for Bartender of the Year. And so I actually was a finalist for 2 years previous, lost 2 years in a row to 2 different people, but I was top 3 in the country. And then I got moved out to San Francisco and ended up finally winning this past year. And then when I won, I was at the Nightclub and Bar Awards, and John approached me and asked me to come on the show. And then from there, we started doing a little bit of talks with the production company and stuff. And then they brought me on for 2 episodes right off the bat, and now they're starting to ask me to do some more. So it's actually been really an amazing project, an amazing thing to do, because this production company and the way they do things is just really, really amazing. It's a machine.
What amazes you? What amazes you about it? I want to hear, for our fans who want to hear too.
There's so many different things going on at one time, and the fact that they're going on is just amazing. And even these renovations, like I walked back into the place after not seeing it for a day, and I'm just amazed by what they do. It's just crazy. I can't imagine.
I know.
And I've renovated many bars, and I could never imagine. It's like they have the Navy SEALs of people just coming in and doing it.
How quickly? Yeah, I'd say I have a background in construction, and one of the things you can't replace is manpower. You can only go so fast. Even if you have 3 crews going, you still can't. There's just limitations you have, and I am equally astounded, and that's why it's good to hear from you to validate that they actually do it in the time they say.
Oh yeah. It's totally on that. I mean, everything is done in the time that's stated, and it's really amazing to see it. And that's why also, when we're filming, it's definitely a process, and you kind of lose track of what day it is yourself, because it's just always turning and always going and always things going on. But it's amazing to see. And after you're done with it, and especially when it's a great experience, like with the Chilleens, who may have had a problem, but they really are just amazing people with great hearts. And then you walk away from it feeling really good. And then on top of it all, just kind of standing back and being like, I can't believe this just happened in the time frame that it did, and that we accomplished what we did.
Yeah, you got a really good bar family, because we've seen some episodes where at the end I didn't want the owner to be able to have the renovation. I wanted them to take everything back. Yeah. And with Donna and Scott and Aaliyah, we just got off the phone with Donna, and I just want to go to Arizona and give her a hug. They just sound like such amazing people.
Oh, and she said to say hello before we forget. Yes. She said to say hello to you.
Okay, good. I missed it a lot. I got to have a nice little bonding with them quite a bit. So they're really, really great people. I try to keep contact with them too, just to check in and make sure that they're doing all right.
I love that.
I don't want to walk away from any of these. To me and to everybody involved, it's not just a television show. It's we definitely care.
You always kind of wonder with a lot of these makeover reality shows, because you add so much to these people's lives, and then you almost pull a rug out by leaving. And I feel like they need that. They need, a couple of emails here and there. And I know some of them do, and it's great to hear that you do, do a little bit to stay in touch. I know there's other ones that just kind of walk away that, oh, well, they're on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Well, I've even tried to, whenever I was able to get in there and when I worked out some of those cocktails, some of the things, I've even tried to negotiate some of the liquor pricing for them. Try to make sure that they're getting that even after we leave, I can call my buddies who are the brand ambassadors from these liquor companies to get them to go into these places and spend some money, also afterwards. And I really try to maintain that too, so that, after we do leave, it's not just us leaving. So
that's awesome.
So great. So can we count on you to call in for your future episodes?
What's that?
Can we count on you to call in for your future episodes?
Oh, yeah, you bet.
I love it.
Nice.
All right, well, go have the happiest 30th birthday. Go close that place down. Have one for us.
Also, it's a little wild tonight. I'm just going to warn everybody.
Also, 2 things. when you're in LA and we're filming, please come in and sit with us. I think it would be so
absolutely.
much
Love
fun
to.
because I know we've talked about that before. And if my sister comes in tonight, please tell her I say hello.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my sister's going in and my cousin.
If I can properly enunciate hello by then,
Yeah.
I definitely will.
Oh, I love it. Go have yourself a lot of fun. And is there anything you want to promote before you leave?
I'm sorry?
Anything you want to promote before you leave? Say goodbye.
You know, I just as much of a great as much as reality TV seems to be like it's not reality TV. It's really amazing, at least with the experience that I've had that with what we've done, and that I really have enjoyed doing the show and the situations that we walked out of, and every place at least that I've walked in with the show and walked out of, I feel like we definitely change it for the better, and especially this part.
Nice.
Great stuff. All right, Russell, happy birthday again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Happy
Take care,
birthday.
guys.
Wow, so that may be a clue that his 5 shows may be more positive. So we may not have a Pirates episode. So it was 49 minutes in.
49-39.
And at least in his 5 shows, we might not have a Pirates because it seems like he had a.
It seemed like he had, what was the other, he was in one before. Oh, the bar that moved back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
The one that was
down
in Long Branch.
Down Long Beach.
Oh, City Limits. City Limits. That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah, that's the first time we saw him. Yeah, just an awesome guy. Great to talk to. He's so cool and easygoing.
Yeah.
And knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and we seem like it seems like the guys that John brings back are the guys that
Oh,
are
yeah.
good
That he
guys.
trusts.
Yeah.
he trusts.
Yeah.
So they're on his team.
I know him and Duffy did an episode together.
Oh, that
They
would have
were-
been a great match.
Yeah, they were in North Carolina, so there's an episode coming up with him and Duffy together.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that he can go out and drink tonight too,
Yeah.
because I hate, it's I don't see John as. I wonder if John even. If we never asked if John drinks.
No.
I think
sure
here's the
he,
thing.
like-
He, as he explained to us, he gets too much into the science. So even though he may be at a bar enjoying a drink, I think he just starts his eyes wander in the best of ways.
Oh my God,
I
I
wonder
was
what's the
trying to
height
think
of
if
the
I've ever served him a drink in all the times that he came in, and I don't know that I have.
Probably not, right?
I think he's in too much
I
into
have
the
a friend.
science.
I have a friend who owns a lot of nightclubs, and it's to the point that I don't like to go out with him. And we haven't been out in years, but it wasn't fun because that's all he would say is, "Oh, they need to, change this, the opening, like that, Chrissy too." I know there's a lot of bartenders who
I
like
went to a
that.
bar on Sunday because they're hiring, and my friend is friends with the owner, so he was like, she said, "Come in, meet the owner," and the whole time I couldn't even enjoy myself or talk to them about why I wanted a job there because I was looking at their staff and I was like, "Oh my God, like you may be the best bartender in the world, but you have no personality. There's no smile on your face. Like, could you have put
Smile
a bit
out.
of mascara on before you left the house?" Like, it was just, I do the same thing. The glasses are
it's
dirty.
Awful. It's awful. I can't go into a place, and I actually was working for a lawyer who does restaurant law. That's what his main bread and butter is. And I would go into places with him, and I'd be like, "Wait, this needs to be done. This needs to be fixed. This, I can't believe that they're doing this. How? I wonder why they're in the position that they're in because they're not doing this.
Yeah.
And you can't get away from
Now
it.
that we've gone completely off the episode, do we
Oh,
talk
sorry.
about John Lovitz and how Krisily really should do the bar rescue?
Yes, just so that we are at the John Lovitz podcast theater enjoying the AfterBuzz WrestleMania show. They did a live after show for WrestleMania. The place was packed thanks to AfterBuzz, and the staff was.
It was a stress test for them.
It was a stress
Let's
test. for
go
them.
in Saturday night. Let's do it.
I want you to go in and work for them.
I'm ready.
No, you say that. You're just saying that in the air.
I am not just saying that.
Yeah, because they're doing it turnover now. They know they're addressing the things that are going on there because it's an amazing location. It's a great venue for a performer or a comedian or for a podcaster. They also have a podcast theater, and it's a great place as a patron to see it. And the facilities are fine. Great. There's a bar set up. The kitchen looks good, but I don't think they have the right people.
To be clear, do we
Right.
want her just at a job? I was thinking,
I
she
just
could,
can't see her doing a job. I
what
would
It's
see
more
her
like
going in
consulting.
there. Right.
Yeah, as a consultant.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't consult. You have to go in and fix the place. Then you can kind of walk
Same
away.
thing.
But that's what,
They're not going to want to. Nobody wants to spend money. Consultants. They just don't. They don't.
Especially
They're gonna
rent.
want,
Well, I would like to pay my rent, so
that's what I'm saying. So to pay your rent, you got to go in there and work. Walk in and go change this, change that. They would need you to be in there to say, I think, assess who's working there, train them, get them up and running, come up with some different systems.
By the way, don't base your iTunes comments based on this conversation.
I know.
If you tune out.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's finish up with the.
But do rate and comment on iTunes.
Yes,
Yes.
please do.
That's a great thing, right? And
Because
if,
we enjoy it.
yeah, and if you could find an early way to come up with Pirates Bar, then then
I actually had it, but
why
I
didn't you use it?
I was trying to figure out when I was trying to hold off till the very last minute.
What was your segue?
The fact that it was a couple that ran the bar, and in the Pirates episode that they had a daughter, but she was not present, unlike this episode.
Yeah, because she didn't want to play pirate, maybe. I don't know. We should probably go into predictions.
Yeah,
right?
we should. Let's do that.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So coincidentally, as I walked out of the after show yesterday for WrestleMania, I said to my girlfriend, I said, you know what, these guys need John Taffer, and I said we should probably make that happen. Like Lovitz and Taffer would be hilarious together. And I said, so my friend Bram Pinvidich, he's second in charge of 3 Bar, I was like, I'm going to call him and I'm going to see if I can make this go down. And sure, I said, and wouldn't it be interesting to see John take on a comedy club, right? And then I see the preview next week, comedy club.
That's going to be a hard one.
Well, I think you're going to be dealing with a guy that his dream is to be a comedian.
he was like a wannabe Andy Dick.
That's what I'm saying. And so it's just like the wannabe bar owner who's just like, I just want to drink with my friends, right? And this is now the wannabe famous comedian so I'll just open my own club. And so I think.
What was his line? We don't do service, we do comedy.
Yeah,
Did he say that something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So get used to, and this is with a lot of failed artists and comedians, they're the worst at taking notes. If you give, Woody Allen, one of the things about him that surprised me is he has multiple screenings of his movie before he calls picture lock, and he's taking notes from all the average civilians, where they're laughing, where they're not laughing, what they like, what they. You say of course, but what I find is that more of your artists, especially the failed ones, oh no, it's their way or the highway. So it's going to be interesting to see how pig-headed this guy's going to be. I'm predicting a pig-head.
Well, yeah, I mean, from what we see, it looks like not much is going to get through. So I want to see what the end is.
I think this is going to be a funny one.
I don't know if I'll be rooting for him at the end of the episode.
I don't think, and problem is too with these comedy guys, they're always looking for the punchline. So I feel like no matter what John says, he's going to just insert a joke. And again, even though
right, this is my chance to be funny to America. Oh my God, it's gonna annoy me. I'm gonna be Elvis and shoot the TV. I'm gonna shoot the TV like Elvis. I'm sorry. And by the way, so you know what so I'm thinking for AfterBuzz, maybe I would like to. All I could think of is hiring Aaliyah if she likes journalism.
if she graduates.
Yeah, right. Well, she's gonna. Then the other thing is, I just thought I'd throw it out there. One-Eyed Pete working at AfterBuzz. And we could let him be a pirate at AfterBuzz.
Oh, and there's a pirate. By the way, Pirate Society. I met a pirate.
No
and
way.
he was the president of the Pirates of LA.
Okay, did you know about Bar Rescue?
No, I told him all about it.
Taking my headphones off.
No, wait, no, come on.
What has this turned into?
I don't know.
This is true story. I met him last Saturday, or the Saturday before.
Yeah, no, it's a whole pirate culture.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
great.
He lives
It
downstairs from my
just
friend.
can't sustain a full-time bar atmosphere unless you're going to make it. Whatever.
It needs to be in Tampa, Florida, or like somewhere where it makes sense.
No, I think
near a Disney,
or if wait
across
a
the street from the medieval times.
Right,
by the
that's
way,
what I mean.
There's a pirates themed place.
That's what I was gonna say. If it's like medieval manor, it becomes an experience. Fine, but it can't. What she just had was crazy.
No, that was
Pirates.
Pirates.
I'm pretty sure it's gone.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty
No.
sure.
Hey,
should find out.
before we go out, Steve, can you look up real quick? Do you think we'd have time?
Yeah, we have plenty of time.
Pirates Tavern. How do you guys want to film this space?
Krisily is not happy.
Corporate raider. So wait, where was that?
Maryland.
It was Maryland. Oh,
Yeah.
So far.
Like
Well,
outside of Baltimore or something like that.
Silver Spring, Maryland.
That's it.
All right, they got 2.5 stars from 184 reviews on Yelp.
But are they still open?
Yeah.
And are they still making grog?
I can call them if you want to on
Let's call
live.
No, well, let's get an update next week. Let's get an update next week.
Things I will not do. That's one of them.
All right, who's going to call? Chrissy, you won't call them?
I'll call them.
All right, we call them.
All right, and of course you can find us here at AfterBuzz TV as there is no music playing.
Yeah, you got to loop that stuff.
There we go. At AfterBuzz TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. In the meantime, follow at Krisily on everything. At Lula Cherry Films.
Yes.
Look at that. And
no, sorry. Nothing over here.
He's like David Duchovny last night. What's Instagram?
Yeah. That's what's
That was
Instagram.
good, actually.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
see you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.